Welcome back to my channel, everyone. As you can see, I'm in a different location yet again. Today I came to a place called the Nest Cafe that I really like. So in today's video, I want to share with you some of the books that I want to read in February. So my February TBR, and maybe even read one of those books with you later. I brought about 5 books with me today to share with you. So the first book is Stoner, like this. Mine's a used copy that I bought online. I've heard really good things about this book, and this book is basically about William Stoner, who is a professor at the University of Missouri, and I think it's supposed to just talk about his life, just following him as he grew up, how he became a professor, and what that's looking like. I don't know too much about it. I actually did start reading it, a little bit of it, on the flight back, because I've been doing a lot of traveling last month or earlier this month, and I really like the writing style. It's definitely one of those more quiet, subtle books where it's not crazy plot heavy, not a lot of action, but just really following the character and almost doing like a deep dive into William Stoner. So I'm excited for that because I do enjoy that kind of book, especially when the writing is really good and the story is very moving. So yeah, that is Stoner. And then since it's February, I thought, okay, I should include some romance, but I don't really have that many romance books with me. So the only one that I have that I haven't read yet is One True Love. You guys might recognize this from my Barnes & Noble haul last month. I haven't read it yet just because I haven't really been in the mood, but I think now is the time. I'm excited because I feel like, when there's a good romance, you just get sucked in and it becomes a really quick read. I'm sure most of you guys have heard of Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's a huge author. I read her other book, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which was really fun. So this book is about Emma Blair, who marries her high school sweetheart Jesse, but apparently something happens to Jesse and he dies, or so Emma thinks, right? So Emma, she's obviously grieving this, but she ends up falling in love again and she gets engaged to another man. But then she finds out that Jesse is actually alive. And from there, the story goes. And to me, that's very interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. Who is she going to choose? Like, what do you do in that kind of situation? So I'm pretty excited because it's like a romance book, but with a twist, and I do enjoy those. So I'm excited for that. Maybe I'll actually read this today, later at the cafe. Okay guys, the food just got here, so I will continue this after I eat. Just finished up lunch. It was delicious. And now we're just walking. We're gonna walk around the corner to the coffee shop that we really like called Valor. I have like 2 or 3 more books that I want to talk about that are part of my February TBR. So I'll finish talking about those when I get to the coffee shop. There's a breeze here and there that feels slightly chilly, but actually it's not too cool today. It's pretty nice. This coffee shop usually has seasonal drinks. So because it's February, I want, some special drinks that have the theme of love. Oh my gosh, it's decorated. Look, Leigh, do you see the windows? Come on. Oh, I love that. I love a good theme, Okay, it looks extremely busy in there. This is so cute. my gosh, you have to see it. Wait, it looks like someone drank half of it already. That's why I didn't know it was yours. And I got a special drink called the Love Potion. It's like a latte with strawberry compote on the bottom. It has cute little heart candies. I want to give it a try, but I need to mix it first. Okay, let me try it. Whoa! I was worried it was gonna be super sweet. It's actually not. It's pretty subtle. It's very festive, which I like. I love a good theme and like seasonal things. Oh. Yeah, it's like strawberry milk coffee. Okay, anyways, enough of that. Now that I got my cute little drink, time to get back into the February TBR. So the next book that I want to read this month is called The Sentence is Death by Anthony Horowitz. I think Anthony Horowitz is a pretty popular thriller writer. I'm not too sure because when I was in California, I went to a bookstore and I was just in the mood for a thriller. So I was just looking in that section and this one caught my eye. It sounded interesting. I liked the cover. Mine got dented a little sadly in my bag, but that's okay. It says that he also wrote Magpie Murders and The Word is Murder. So maybe those are some really popular books. Maybe you guys could let me know. It says here that basically something about a celebrity divorce, but things don't really add up, like seems kind of suspicious. And the author, Anthony Horowitz, is actually the sidekick of Detective Inspector Daniel Hawthorne, and they're basically investigating this case, which I think is interesting because it's kind of like hearing the story from Watson's perspective, you know? If you guys know Sherlock. Love Sherlock, by the way. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know too much about it, but that's usually how I like to approach my books. Okay, next is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Again, another one that I mentioned in my Barnes & Noble haul in January. This is when I bought it. And yeah, I haven't got around to it because last month I was so focused on thick YA fantasy books that I think this month I want to tackle more of a variety of shorter books. So I think this one is, I actually don't know if it's nonfiction, but yeah, it's on the cover. It says, "What would you change if you could travel back in time?" So I think it's a lot about if you could go back, who would you want to meet, and maybe conversations that you have with certain people. So that is very different compared to all the other ones I have, but I'm excited. And you guys have been telling me in the comments that you guys love this book. So I'm excited to give it a try. Lastly, for my February TBR is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know if it's Leigh or Leigh Bardugo, but she is a very popular writer. I feel like she's written so many things. And this, I believe, is a dark academia book, which I do love a good dark academia. It's been a while. The last one I read was If We Were Villains, which I featured in my top books of 2022 video. I really enjoyed that. And I loved the secret history too. It also says on the cover that it's a fantasy. So maybe it's like a dark academia fantasy. On the back, it says a tale of power, privilege, dark magic, and murder among the Ivy League elite. Okay, so that's really cool because I guess there is magic involved, and there's also apparently an unsolved homicide. So I guess that also adds like another, aspect to the book. So yeah, I'm actually really excited. This one's probably the thickest one that I have out of everything, but that's okay because if I can get really into it, then I'm sure it'll fly by. These are the 5 books that I have that I want to read in February. But if I do finish all of them, then I might just read other books, or if I'm kind of in the mood for something else, then I might change my mind. But I'll let you guys know as I go along. I do want to read as much of the books that I already have as possible. I think I have a good variety here, so hopefully it'll keep me occupied, it'll keep me interested and entertained this month, which is already flying by. This is a short month, you know, so I can't get too ambitious. Oh man, this is hard now. I feel like there's so many good ones to choose from. I was originally gonna start with One True Loves, you know, because love, but actually I kind of want to read like a murder mystery one. So I think I'm gonna start with The Sentence is Death while I'm here and just read for a couple hours and see how much I can get through and what I think about it so far. So I was inside that cafe reading for a little under 2 hours, I'd say. And I wanted to briefly share my thoughts on The Sentence is Death before I head back home. So I am pretty into it so far. I'm really getting Sherlock Holmes vibes though. So in a nutshell, this book is about the detective Daniel Hawthorne and his sidekick Anthony Horowitz, who's writing about this case. They are trying to solve the murder of a celebrity divorce lawyer who's found dead in his home. So I'm only about 100 pages in, and to be honest, it is getting really interesting, but they're still kind of interviewing people, trying to pick up all the pieces and clues, and what seems to be more of like a straightforward case is obviously not, right? I mean, that's what makes the book. So yeah, I don't know enough to say like where I think this is going, who I think is the murderer, but right now they're just exploring all the suspects. Yeah, I like it though. It's interesting. I love when you have like a clever detective that can pick up on the clues that maybe normal human eyes can't see, just based on deduction and things like that. So I feel like I'm gonna be surprised. Like all the things that seem very straightforward when you look at it from face value are probably not gonna be as it seems. And that's what I really like. Honestly, this is one of those books where the way it's written, it's really easy to get through. So I feel like I quickly finished the first 100 pages. There's about like 350 or so. So yeah, I think it would be a quick read. Okay guys, so I think that's gonna be all for today's video. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned in my February TBR, if you like any of them, or if you're gonna read any of them alongside me. I'd love to know. And keep an eye out for my next week's video because I'm really excited for it. It's gonna be pretty different and in a different setting. I will see you guys again next week. Bye!